Hello everyone! So, if you've been paying attention to any of my videos recently, you'll know that I have recently started streaming. And one thing that this results in is I'm going through a lot of decks really fast. But what I decided to do to make YouTube content that continues to be new and interesting is I'm going to take my favorite deck from my stream that day and record with it and post it, so you'll all get to see never-before-seen matches, but still I won't have to come up with 15 new decks every week. So this was my favorite deck from the stream, and this one's kinda awesome. This is a deck built around Feather the Redeemed. This is a really powerful card, even if it's not immediately obvious that this is so. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, you basically get the spell back. It's exiled, and then on the end step you get to pick it up again. This is particularly powerful with the card Defiant Strike, because you get to draw a card, and then you get this back, so you're drawing cards every single turn. And it's also just good for an efficient card like Samut Sprint, where you get to keep picking it back up. And you can add up to a lot of damage and a lot of card selection with the Scry. And then I've got a 1-of Skulduggery, because getting to reuse it as removal is quite powerful. Another card that people play with Feather is Reckless Rage, but we're not really very good at using that. Like, it's good with Legionnaire and Feather herself and Dreadhorde Arcanist, but it's not guaranteed to be good with the rest of our creatures, so I don't really think we can play it. So, the obvious shell for Feather is Boros, because one, that's what she is anyway, and spells that target creatures you control are really good with 10th District Legionnaire. If you have played Standard back in Theros block, you may remember that people played with a card called Battlewise Hoplite, which was exactly this card, except it cost blue instead of red, and it didn't have haste. So, this card is gross. It's really powerful. I don't think it was immediately obvious quite how powerful. Also really good with Dreadhorde Arcanist. Notably, this already wants to play with cheap spells that target your creatures anyway. You can hit this with a Defiant Strike, draw a card, attack with it, Defiant Strike again, draw another card, and that's just really good. And if you Dreadhorde Arcanist back a spell with Feather out, the spell does actually go back to your hand, and so that's just straight up card advantage. And finally, the last Boros card is Krenko, Tin Street Kingpin. This card is much better than it looks. It makes a lot of goblins with even a little bit of help. A lot of decks just can't beat 6 or 7 1/1 goblin tokens, so Krenko are really good. Moving on, why are we playing black? Because you can just play this card in Boros. There are a few reasons. Black gives us access to Gutterbones, who is one of the best 1-drops in the format, just consistent pressure and attacks pretty aggressively from the beginning. The aforementioned Skulduggery can be really powerful if you're rebuying it, and is just kind of useful in general. I particularly like this card against mono blue, because they've got a lot of X1 creatures. Dreadhorde Butcher is a super powerful card. It plays well with pumps. Like, if it's going to die and you pump it up, it'll smash something for a lot of damage. And also you can just help force it through so it can start growing and getting more powerful. This is one of those cards that is like 8 out of 10 with no work, and with even a lot of help, even a little bit of help, it becomes fantastic. And finally, for black cards, we have Sorin, Vengeful Bloodlord. The more I play with this card, the more I like it. The +2 is basically just add 2 loyalty. The damage and life gain is not really relevant. But the passive is fantastic in any aggro mirror. You just keep gaining life, and when you pump your Krenko up to an 8-power creature and gain 8 life and then get 8 tokens, it's pretty hard for them to come back. And his -X ability is very reminiscent of Ajani, Adversary of Tyrants. I've mentioned that before. But the more I play, the more obvious it is how much better his minus ability is than Ajani's. Being able to get 3-drops is insane, because the 3-drops are the best cards in our deck. Turn 4, get back your Feather that they killed, while also getting a powerful Planeswalker that has a passive ability. It's difficult to overestimate how powerful that is. And then the fact that his plus ability is a +2 comes up a lot. you can continue to build up loyalty, and bringing back a Dreadhorde Butcher every other turn is so much value for one Planeswalker to be producing. So we played this deck, we won a lot with it, and I was really impressed. Didn't win a lot with other decks, but that's fine. We don't have to record with those. So without any further ado, I'll go ahead and get into some games. Alright, getting into the first game with this Mardu Feather deck. Yeah, this hand seems good. It really wants to find some sort of spell, but that is a-okay. Go ahead and get this down so we could potentially play a white 2-drop without paying life. Probably doesn't matter too much. Blue black. Okay. Well, suddenly I'm glad I'm playing with Grim Initiate instead of some other options. The 10th District Legionnaire is really cool because this is another 2-drop, but it is not one that necessarily needs to be played on curve. On turn 3 with something else is quite good. Well, this is all kind of annoying. This gives zombies Death Touch, this has Death Touch, so we don't want to block. Like, I guess we can attack here, and we're not super broken up about losing one of them to this. Ugh, I think this is rough for us. Because, like, if they just trade here, and then they've got another one, they just get to make another Death Toucher. We don't really have good ways to grind through all of this. Oh, or they can just give all their zombies Death Touch again. What is this? Oh. Okay, so if we kill their Death Baron, they get their Death Baron back. Whatever. That's not a big deal. Okay, we drew 3 Arcanists without any spells. That's not very good. Attacking for 7 here, so we can't safely play Sorin. So we kind of have to just, like, do this. Which is, like, really not good. If we draw a spell, we might be able to get somewhere, but, like... yeah, like, this is what I was worried about. They just have so much Death Touch, we're never going to be able to get through. Well, we can force them to attack, at least.
Through feud or feast, your blood is mine. What a mess I made.
Alright, so we haven't drawn a spell, and I think this matchup is pretty terrible. So, this is not a great first showing for the deck. But, that is okay. Because we can hop right back in the queue. They're not attacking. Interesting. This card isn't very good. Right here, it's just a 1/3, which is not good on this board at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep ticking Sorin up. If they're, like, out of stuff and they're too scared to attack, then we might get a chance to draw our way back into this. And actually, if we got, like, a Defiant Strike, we could... oh, God. That's a good play. I was gonna say a Defiant Strike would let us give this guy first strike and then just all at us. Take 13, I guess. Our blocks are just so bad that I don't think that's getting us anywhere. Well, that's almost it. Could Defiant Strike Krenko and attack, and their blocks are, like, not super amazing, and we get a bunch of tokens? Alright. Oh, please don't have a removal spell. Just make me extra sad. Alright. Another land is not good, but... and we can do this so that we get an extra Defiant Strike. Krenko. Alright, now we got a lot of goblins. Like, they get their Baron back. Whatever. They're kind of lucky they didn't block here. That could have ended very poorly for them. One, two, three. Krenko, come back.
You belong to me now.
We'll see how they decide to attack. Like, if they attack the same way as last time, I'm just gonna block with my tokens. When it dies, I'm S2, sure. It's not really relevant. And if they attack with, like, an X3, which I didn't think they would, I was gonna block here and then Samut sprint, because we can first strike it down. We're back in kind of a holding pattern. Like, kind of want to Samut sprint. Could just make a lot of zombie token, or a lot of goblin tokens again. Let's see, that would put him up to 3 and then 5, 6. 6 more goblins. It's like not super great. We could just rebuy him again though. We'd lose a Dreadhorde Arcanist if we do that. I think I'm just going to pass and uptick Sorin again.
Vampirism is a useful trait.
Like, their all-out attacks aren't very good because we just block with a lot of stuff, and their waiting isn't good either because Sorin's just gradually accruing a lot of advantage, and even if they're just like attacking with this, we'll just block it with goblin tokens for however long. Okay, they realize that the impetus is on them to attack. They can't just wait. So I think I'm probably going to block this and Dreadhorde Arcanist with the Grim Initiate to kill it. Need to block there. Chump like this, leaving a couple goblins. This has us taking 6. We don't really have a good way to threaten lethal, but yeah, I'm just gonna do it this way. The advantage of casting Sprint on our turn is we get to scry and set up our next turn's draw step to be better. Yeah, get that out of there. We don't get quite as many goblins this way, though, unless we draw something good. Go to 3, that's fine. Oh, yeah, that's so good. Alright, anything good to do with Sorin? No. Yeah, unless they have something good in their hand, I think we're about to run away with this game, actually. Yeah. Do you have a cast down for the other one? Oh no, that's so sad. Dang. Well, that's unfortunate. Looks like we're going to be doing some amount of chumping this turn. See, they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers if they want. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that we don't care about blocking with. They probably aren't attacking here because that would set up a pretty bad turn for them, but I'm still going to just do this. Back an Arcanist. Alright, now they need to get something done, or we're going to go off, so. Alright, so we can set up like a cascading effect of this being really bad for them. This happens by Death Baron, Feather killing a Death Baron, and she's going to die in the process, but that's fine. Gutterbones can block to kill the other Death Baron. We can chump a couple of these big things. And then this, so we still even get to keep these two creatures. Now they have like very little going on. So we get to -3. Wow, this has been kind of an awesome game for this deck. Get Feather.
Embrace the bloodlust.
Attack with these. Like that. Some with Sprint. Sprint Krenko. Don't want that. And then after that super good turn where we create a board they probably can't beat, we get Samut's Sprint back. And we can even, as long as we make sure to cast it at the right time, yeah, we can Samut's Sprint just for the scry on their turn and get it back on their end step. So, wow. I thought that game was really over, but I guess it wasn't. Okay, second game. Getting into it. I still kind of can't believe we lost, or won that last one. I thought we were really dead. Oh boy. If we can hit a shock, this hand is like quite good. Arcanist into Legionnaire Sprint is like the best thing our deck can do. I guess we could have a Gutterbones on one to make it better, but whatever. Huh, Butcher's suddenly not a good play. That's fine. Cool, we hit a shock. Basically on time. Just knocks out a couple life. Let's see what they do. Oh man, that's mean. Huh, that was really aggressive on their part. I'm just gonna go ahead and get a counter on this guy. This is exactly the matchup where I was talking about. I'd really like to draw Sorin here, because as is, we're probably going to be ahead on board but behind on life, and a Sorin would completely turn that around. Notably, Sorin, this thing would have had lifelink as it dies, so the damage that it throws at wherever, we gain life off of that. Alright, so we go ahead and do this. If they try to double block, I was just going to sprint our guy. Oh, I suppose I should have actually played the Legionnaire. Yeah, I should have played Legionnaire because I could sprint either of them, so I just kind of missed 2 damage here. How do I want to block? Do I want to? 5 isn't so bad. Nothing, huh? Alright. Well, time to do a lot of damage. Do I want to keep that on top? Kinda? It's a lot of haste damage. So now we cracked in for a colossal amount of damage. This guy's even bigger, so even if he somehow dies, it'll hit them for a lot. And this is actually a really good blocker here, because they have to pay 4 if they even want to, like, kill our guy at all. They can't just trade. So they would need to, like, give +3/+3 to each of these. Yeah, that wasn't even close. Sick. I think this should probably be a tough matchup, but we just kind of ran him over. Alright, third game. Yeah, both of those games have been impressive in different ways. This is fine. We can't cast our Initiate on one, which is a little sad, but we still get to go Arcanist into Legionnaire. All black. It's a little annoying, but luckily we have 2 spells, so it's not the worst thing ever if we lose one of them. You only need like one pump to kind of go off, as we showed last game. It was really just the sprint, that's all we needed, and we just smashed them. Huh. Kind of want to go with the Butcher. Because if it gets in, it'll, either they take it or it trades and we get our Defiant Strike back. This isn't amazing, but we don't really have a way to kill that, and I kind of wanted to get this back somehow. Well, if they hit their land drop, then this was just all sorts of bad for us. No, they did not. Okay, that's good. So now we can get down Arcanist and an Initiate. So, overall that worked out for us, because we hit our land drop and they did not, so... Be it the same board 2 turns in a row was good for us. Alright, if they have a removal spell, this sucks, but whatever. Removal spells are going to mess this deck up, that's just the way it is. It's unfortunate, I would love to draw this, but we need a land. So, we need a land before he's good. I'm okay with land 4. Yeah, and they just pack it in. Dang, that is just so much damage. Really like how that plays out. Alright, another game with the Mardu Feather deck. We haven't really gone off with Feather yet, but that's also just a good sign for the deck that we don't have to. This is pretty good. We don't have any of our super crazy synergies, but I've seen a lot of White Weenie out today. I've won this matchup a few times, like, just because our creatures get so much bigger and hit so much harder. It can be really rough, though. Especially Leon in Vanguard implies that they're in a Johnny's Pride Mate version. Oh boy. Kind of want to get our first striker down, so I'm actually going to play double 1-drop instead of the Legionnaire. The Legionnaire's attacks aren't very good anyway. Like, they just double block here, and I get a Rustwing Falcon. That's not where I want to be. Right. Lots of 1-drops. Oh boy. Okay. This is how we lose this matchup. That's... oh, that is as good as it gets. Go ahead and get Krenko down. We're going to take a lot of damage here. But I think any victory we put together involves Krenko making a lot of goblins. One, 2, 5, 8, 10, 14. And our blocks are just crap, so there's like no... there's no winning line that involves throwing away... I suppose we can throw away a Grim Initiate. That's like not the worst. Oof. Okay. So now we're just dead to flying. Alright. That was the absolute nut draw from White Weenie. It doesn't get any better than that. So, like, down to them not drawing enough lands to function, but flipping the Legion's Landing. Just, whew. Alright, we're going to shake that one off. Alright, another game with Mardu Feather. Can't quite get the 5-0 after that absolutely brutal last game. We're on the draw again, man. I swear I've been on the draw 80% of the time today. This stinks. But oh well. Huh, this guy's a warrior. I put together I I did that Jund Warriors deck a while ago, and decided to put it together again since Dreadhorde Butcher is really good. But I hadn't realized that this guy's a warrior too. Maybe that's one of the 1-drops the deck needs. Black-white. I've seen a lot of people playing like black-white aristocrats. If it's that, I want the Grim Initiate. If it's like anything else, I want Gutterbones. Alright, Gutterbones, let's see what you got. Gutterbones also a better turn 1 play because we can initiate and Gutterbones next turn to really get all our 1-drops down. If they don't do anything, I'm just playing this guy and getting in there. Oh no! Well, I would still like to do that, but I suspect that he's not going to stick around. Control decks really don't want to play against this card. I don't have a spell, so Arcanist isn't guaranteed to be good, so I'm not going to play that. Assuming they take the Dreadhorde Butcher, I'm going to take double 1-drops. If for some reason they take any of these 4 cards, I'm just going to play this guy and get in there. Well, they got a tough decision either in my hand or on top of their deck. Yeah, goodbye, Butcher. Hopefully they don't have Cry of the Carnarium. I am not equipped to beat that card, since I won't even get my Amass, and my Gutterbones will be gone forever. Man, this game would be so easy if we were on the play. Just Gutterbones into this, hit you for 3, this would already be a 2-2. Then they cast Thought Erasure and see that hand. It's kind of how aggro decks go, though. Let's bring that down a little. Search for Azcanta. Alright. Huh? Can this hand ever beat a sweeper? I don't think so, so I'm gonna walk into it. Even without any help, Krenko attacks as a 2/3 and makes 2 tokens. He's like a weird mini hero of Bladehold. He doesn't apply as much pressure, but like, that's just a lot of bodies for very little investment. A 3-mana creature is not exactly a huge price to pay. Alright, so we're a little flooded here. They could have Settle. I don't think we're beating that. And I get my goblins anyway. Alright, now I'm not going to walk in this Arcanist because he does not add a relevant amount of power. Alright, their Kaya's Wrath or bust here. Or a Time Wipe, I guess. They could play land, but... like, even if they can kill the Krenko, I'm still attacking for 7, so... I guess double removal spell lets them live at 1.
Hurry!
They got some sort of fog, maybe? Yeah, they pack it in. Alright. Sweet, I guess. I'll play more. This deck's really fast. Okay. One more game. Ipion. I think I played against this person earlier, but I have no idea what they were doing. Sure. This guy needs some lands, but could be quite good. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Guess we'll play this tapped. Man, when do I get to win the die roll? Why do I have to play against this on the draw? Arcanist. This is pretty good since it blunts some damage. Really need to hit land 3. Hand just like doesn't do nearly enough without it. That said, if we can go like Krenko into Sprint Krenko, Skulduggery Krenko, oh my gosh. they have another Death Baron, the game's just over. But if they don't, we actually have a pretty good turn here. Oh, please don't kill my guy. Oh. Oh my god, do they have some sort of pump? You gotta be kidding me. Well, god, that game was stupid. I guess we're not even dead. Ugh. Do not need that land. Another Samut sprint would like really put us in this game, actually. Now they can't really attack with everyone because we'll put 1 each here and 2 on Death Baron. Sure, murder. Alright. Is there a good way to play this? If we do Dreadhorde Arcanist, Dreadhorde Butcher, they attack with these two, we double chump again. Or if they attack with this, we can block with the 1/3, that's fine. Then next turn we could Sorin back Krenko and go off with Dreadhorde Arcanist. Alternatively, what if we just... If we just Sorin back Krenko, that doesn't work because they just attack and force a block. Alright. I guess we attack with the Dreadhorde Butcher too. Because if they block here, their Baron dies, and if they don't block, he gets bigger. And their attacks are bad now, because we block here, double block the other one, and it's dead. Wow. Man, I thought we were done, but... I guess zombies don't beat goblins as much as I thought they would.
I will have revenge for House Markov.
Sorin continues to be fantastic. No attacks this turn. Wow. No! Well, dang. Still in the same holding pattern, basically.
I have all my need for blood.
I'm just going to pass here. I think we've got a little bit of a buffer. Like, even if they somehow wiped our board, or got us down to 1 blocker, we still have good blocks, and this way we don't need to trade another Sorin to do anything. Alright, here we go. Time for a good turn. Oh wait, not yet. Because now Krenko has summoning sickness.
I demand servitude.
Next turn, we'll have a good turn.
I cannot stop this fight, but I will feed the weak, feed the strong.
Oh my gosh. Please stop. Ugh. Like, our attacks continue to be pretty bad, but we just need a turn where we can go off with Krenko. If they ever stop drawing give neg2 for 2 mana, then... Ugh. I thought we were super dead, and then I felt like we couldn't possibly lose, and now... Ooh boy. Their attacks aren't really good here, we'll just chump again. Still have these 2 goblins left over. Okay. This is the turn where the game basically ends. Because what we're going to do... We're going to Defiant Strike Krenko. Play this. We don't really have to. We can Skulduggery. +1/+1 here, -1/-1 there. Then... I guess actually we do want to play this. Okay, we want Krenkos to resolve last. Skulduggery. And Samut Sprint. Sure, whatever. Skulduggery. Buff Krenko. Shrink Death Baron. Okay. Got them down to 4 after Sorin does his thing. Gained a bunch back. Got a bunch of goblins. Built up our board. Oh boy. I feel bad about complaining earlier, because I really thought we were dead. I just didn't count quite well enough. And then that was an insane game to end on. So, sorry for the whining, but I think that showed off the deck pretty well. So, if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you could subscribe to this channel, and also, if you could click the link down below and go ahead and follow me on Twitch. As I said, I've started streaming. I plan to stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hopefully play more cool decks like this. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.